To circulate. Moved by Councillor McCabe, seconded by Councillor Malmus. All in favor? Thank you. All right, business arising, Son of Stomp facility use permit. Recommendation here that council approve the issuance of a facility use permit for the Son of Stomp event for July 15th, 17th, 2022, once the district of Sycamoose conditions are met as administered by the Community Services Department. I need a mover on this. Councillor Anderson, Councillor Malmus. Okay, I'm going to open up the floor to Scott and Jason and Daryl as to the dynamics around this. Who wants to take the first shot at it?
See, something to say, Scott?
You guys met with the Stomp people the other day, and so give us an update so
We did.
can make a decision.
Through the chair, absolutely. They have presented their application for the site. It includes the dates that we've indicated, the 15th to the 17th. The 17th, the campers will be vacated by noon. The description of the event is basically bike games, challenges, obstacle courses, bands, poker runs, touring rides, as well as they're working with us to do a downtown family event. They will fund it, and Jamie and I are organizing it, basically is what it comes down to. So they have for the downtown portion planned scooter races for the adults, some bike courses for young ones, as well as some bike activities for the young ones, and then what they called a mock event for the youth as well. So basically events that mirror what's done on site, except brought down to level and safety. So something like the teeter-totter that they do, they're not going to actually do a teeter-totter, it'll just be across a plank kind of idea. So there will be activities downtown as well as an organized pancake breakfast. So that'll be funded by the Son of Stomp and organized and advertised by myself and Jamie here with the district. On the actual site itself, like I said, those activities are there, as well as that goes. They're asking for the ability to put up some tents and things, whatnot, which we've worked with Daryl to make sure that we have this cited to make sure that they're appropriate locations. They have asked for the wash car, but only the showers. So there's no cleaning required on our behalf of the actual wash car itself. It's just setting it up on the site, and then that location will stay there for Montague the next weekend as well. So it'll stay on site from that far that goes. And other than that, they've asked for some just basically basic citing things that we'll work with them on the list of items that I put there, which is they will require damage deposit, event permit fee, insurance, liquor license, insurance, and health permits for any food vendors, formal letter of request for the good neighbor bylaw for the noise, a fire permit if they're going to have any fires, site and parking plan, which is pretty basic. We have a pretty good idea what they want already. And then of course, the council approval for the park closure for the extended period of time. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Thanks, Jason. Comments or questions from council? Councilor McCabe.
A couple of mine, thank you through the chair to maybe Daryl or resources. Is staff okay with the asks as far as resources, capacity?
And I'm not hearing a lot from operations to supplement what they're doing. So
okay.
I don't anticipate any problems.
And one other quick question. Well, two actually, insurance, you think they'll be able to get a type assurance because it kind of waives us a safe harmless clause for the district, right?
Yeah, and if they can't, then they wouldn't be able to move forward with the event. So
and if we're sitting here today because there are times an issue for this group. When they apply for the liquor license, doesn't it come eventually back through council to approve or no?
No, it's just a condition that once the liquor license comes through, then we have to issue a site permit for them before they can actually get the liquor license. So otherwise they're not able to actually apply for it until we give them permit for that. So it's just part of the process.
But the liquor license is only the approval process is through RCMP and BC Liquor, but not council.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? Councilor Anderson.
Just regarding the wash car, there's still the deposit on it is still the same though, correct?
Yes.
And then that deposit gets passed on, Monashi has to pay the deposit moving forward.
That is correct.
Still have a lot of things that have to T's to cross and I's to dot yet, hey?
They do.
All right, any other comments or questions? Go ahead, Deb, yeah, if you want.
I was just gonna say, so just a reminder, the judges arrive on July 18th, which is the day after this ends. So no concerns about dog park or whatever, but if there's anything downtown, I'm hoping that, whatever mess will be cleaned up before the judges arrive. So
Yeah, that's the day after. All right.
it's the day after, so.
Good. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, through the chair, I was just wondering about the deposit. I know we passed the bylaw just not long ago about fees and charges bylaw, but I never really noticed in there that we had a bylaw or we had a special event deposit of $200. That $200, is that for if they don't clean up or,
Yeah,
or we should-
yeah, you're correct.
we should have pumped that up, but if they don't clean up, that's all we can get is $200.
We would go back to them and probably issue an invoice for the cost, whoever else, but if it was inappropriately cleaned up, but yeah, collecting it is can always be an issue, of course. If an event like this, I would imagine where they're going to be coming back yearly, though they most likely would work with us. Otherwise, next year we wouldn't even consider letting them back on the site.
Exactly.
I talked to a couple of the restaurants and and they were, they're all, any more people you can stuff into town, the more the better, they were saying. But when they're asking about food vendors, are they going to be at the park? That will hamper their business there. Is there any of our food vendors, local food vendors get an option to go over there,
The list of vendors and food that I've been provided for them in their event was RSK Apparel, which is in food, obviously, but Steel Horse Studios, a tattoo company, Freewheel and Leather. So those obviously aren't food, but then they have a Shebang Food Truck, Any Donuts, and then Local Pressed Bites and Kilman Customs. Those are all the events that what I've been provided with so far.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just curious if they had reached out to any of our food vendors, mobile ones.
In the past, we never really had too much problem with cleanup. I mean, there wasn't a gum wrapper left. They did a very, very good job of it and kind of spattering of the vendors that they used to have there. So that's, go ahead, Jay.
Through the chair, in our discussions with them, they are planning to hire a local group, whether it be an elementary school or a club or something to assist with cleaning the site the next day, to hire them to come in and do pickup. So obviously that hasn't been done yet, but that was part of the discussion. So
The combination of the downtown events and their organization, they're all okay they're all in order to make that happen. And they want to work mainly with kids or with seniors?
with kids and seniors, the two groups, yes. That's the focus of the events that they're planning.
Right. Go ahead, Colin.
So you and Tammy are organizing the events downtown and they have folks that are going to be working them though? Is that
Correct.
okay? And they'll be responsible for all the cleanup in the dog park after they've gone. Yeah, I too have talked to some business owners and unfortunately, I got the opposite response as worded. So there's people that are in favor of the stomp of this town and there's people that aren't. And historically, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, stomp has really never gained a lot of traction. It's always been a bit of an issue. They've always been short on cash. There's always been something going on with, businesses, residents, whatever. So, and Steve was an event planner and was very, very organized. This is still a bit amok. So, yeah.
Thank you, Councilor Mullins.
Sure. I did talk to Steve, so he's gonna give them a hand. He did organize it, so he's not gonna be involved in it. And when he actually did host the event, over the past years. Some of these people that are involved in the Sun Stomp actually were the ones that actually helped organize this stuff. He might be the face and the head of it, but there was still a lot of people in the background and some of these people. So it's not like it's gonna be a brand new shit show. These guys were involved in this before, so they're not asking for anything. Before the Stomp asked for stuff, fencing and this and that, so I don't know why we're even having a discussion about it. They're not asking for nothing. The Monashi, what are they asking? And we're granting that, so, and we're setting up for it anyway, so everything that we're gonna put there for that is gonna be there anyway, so it's not like it's any extra work for us. They're gonna hold it down out of that, so the scooter thing, that was well attended and people like it, and I don't know whether they're having bands down there or what they're doing, but you know, it's something in the downtown core again, which we've been lacking for 2 years, so I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with Councillor Malmas. It'll bring some, you know, the family part of it in the downtown, separate from the 19 plus at the dog park. But what we're approving here or voting on here today is subject to, we're not saying yes, it's going to happen. We're saying yes, we'll let them pursue all the conditions to try and meet to make it happen. So our resolution is kind of a subject to resolution to that list. So,
Colleen?
To Jace, are they still selling tickets to this event?
My understanding is they've held off on the advertising until such time as council's made a decision.
Okay, so, and that was a misunderstanding between you and the organizer as far as the ticket sales go and getting the permit?
It's not so much of a misunderstanding as more of the way it was advertised. I think they agree maybe it was a little much. Like I said, the question that came forward to us when we're going through it is, are we able to market this event? And as I've said to council before, they can, just like Monashi marketed months and months before they actually got their permit. There was nothing stopping them from doing that. But the impression maybe of giving, I think they agree, maybe the impression that it was a done deal on the site gave the wrong impression. But the fact that they started marketing it, like I said, there's nothing we can do to actually stop that.
Jason, do they have a lot of community sponsors?
I have not spoken to them about sponsors, so I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think their application indicates sponsors, so they may, but Diane is online if you want to ask her that question.
Go ahead.
Can I ask Diane the question?
Sure.
Diane, do you have any community sponsors that are involved?
Right now, I didn't approach any sponsors, waiting on application approval. Everything is waiting on approval. I don't want to go ahead and do all this stuff and then be voted out.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Right. Go ahead, Gordon. One more question. We'll call it.
Through the chair, one more question. I was just curious, if they, were to get 250 people at the event, multiplied by $60 a ticket, you're looking at about $15,000. Is there any possible way they could have something in there that, because we, as council, we get hammered because we don't make any money from using the wash cart or any of the stage or anything like that. Is there any possible way we could have some kind of working relationship that if they do well, and maybe we could get some money for rental of the unit? Because we're, went out to the top, most of it was a grant, but we just thought we'd, try to get a whole bunch of events in town and everything, and then we start giving away the unit and we don't make any money on it. So I was just curious, it's something you could ask Debbie, when you guys are sitting down and negotiating the final stuff.
Through the chair, I mean, they do pay for the rental of the unit, and they'll pay for the little bit for the park and for the permit. So those fees are collected in terms of revenue sharing and whatnot. No, that's not something we normally do. If that's a direction of council, of course, I can pursue that. That's not something that would be part of our normal process.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
Ryan's got his hand.
Ryan.
Ryan, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks. Through the chair, I was wondering, how many people were expected to camp at the park and how they were going to prevent people from taking in things like unauthorized alcohol and so on into the park with their bike and all their camping gear. A question maybe a little bit for Jason, a little bit for Diane.
Through the chair, this hasn't been done yet, but that would be through the liquor license process. They would have to have security on site, for those type of issues. So that'll be set for them through other bodies other than ourselves, basically.
Go ahead, Councilor Long.
You could correct me if I'm wrong, Diane, but I think that if you're camping there, the people are allowed to bring in their own booze for camping, and I'm positive that's why it's a 19 plus, because the beer garden is where the liquor license is at.
Through the chair, it's when you have a liquor license in an event like this, you are given permission to have alcohol in your campsite, no alcohol walking around, and of course, in the beer gardens, that's where you have your alcohol.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments or questions on this? Okay, I'm going to repeat based on the fact that Councillor Evans wasn't here. Council approved the issuance of a facility use permit for Son of Stomp event for July 15, 17, 2022, once all of the District of Sycamore conditions are met and as administered by the Community Services Department. It's been moved and it's been seconded, and we've had lots of discussion. I'll give you any opportunity for making a comment, or I'm calling the question.
Go ahead and call a question, sir.
Okay, I'm going to call a question. All those in favor? Okay, and opposed? Okay, I'm in favor, so it's carried. All right. So adjournment recommendation that the April 25th, 2022 special council meeting be adjourned at 9:22 by Councillor McCabe, second by Councillor Anderson. All in favor? Thank you. And thanks for coming in today. And,
Thank you, everyone.
Quick and easy.
I got here early. Could have been late.
Did you? Sorry.